Hi, everyone, and welcome to In the Know 360 show hosted by me, Annette, the warm hearted warrior diva. This show gives you insights on the journeys of high achieving business owners and music artists who share with the audience the importance of building a strong community of like minded individuals on the road to greater success. And tonight, I am blessed to have Big Ounce. Yay!
How you guys doing? How you doing tonight, Miss?
Thank you so much for joining me. I'm glad that you're able to finally come on the show.
It's been a long time coming.
Right. I've been anticipating this moment.
Right on, right on. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So, without further ado, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Big Ounce, but people at home call me Jose. So either which way it goes. I was born in Idaho, raised in Nevada. Um, you know, um, I love music and I love my people. I'm loyal to my people, and I got a lot of love to show. So I mean, I'm just here doing my thing, trying to show that love.
Okay. And is it true what they say about Idaho potatoes? I had to.
No, that's definitely true.
Okay.
Yeah, they got this thing down there called the potato drop, and it's like a New Year's thing, but it's like the biggest potato in the world. I seen this potato once in front of my eyes one time, and it was on a train, and it took up a whole train like section. This thing was massive, man. I'm telling you. So yeah, when
What?
they say about the potatoes in Idaho, that is definitely true. Yeah.
Wow, because I've heard, I'm going back to like Forrest Gump when they say shrimp gumbo, shrimp whatever. Is it like Idaho something? Idaho?
Idaho spuds. Yeah. That's
I bet
it.
I bet the potatoes are more fresh when you get it in Idaho as opposed to it traveling to
Oh,
others.
you could get them right there off the side of the road even sometimes. And
Oh,
they be fresh, like fresh. Mhm.
what?
Mhm. Yeah, we used to go when I was younger, we used to go to the orchards, and they have the yard full of potatoes, and you could see them sitting there by the side of the road, and you're not allowed to go into to their orchard or whatever.
Oh,
But if they're there chilling on the side of the road, you can pick them up, and they're like the fresh potatoes you can ever eat.
man.
Yeah.
Man, I had to come to Idaho and visit you just for the potatoes.
Oh man, I'm telling you right now, Boise's like one of the fastest, and Meridian is one of the fastest growing cities in the West Coast right now. I mean, it's blowing up. It didn't used to be so big before. I remember younger, but it's so crowded now. But the state, I mean, it's just so beautiful in itself. It is a beautiful, beautiful country. I've never seen anything more beautiful than Idaho. And I'm telling you, like I've been all the way to the East Coast. I've been, up north, down south, and I've never seen anything more beautiful than Idaho. Boise, Idaho, and that whole
Wow.
recreational area is gorgeous out there.
Man, I love French fries. So
Yeah.
I'm a starch girl. I love French fries.
There you go. There you
Potato
go.
salad. No, what do what type of potatoes do you like?
I like red potatoes. This is sort of
Ah,
my preference. I think they're a little bit more healthier. They got less starches in them. And
yeah.
if you grow them organically, then they're actually a lot better for you, a lot of proteins and stuff. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I need to check with you about more of the potato. Potato hacks.
Yeah, what you said. We was talking about that Forrest Gump thing. Like I'm pretty much like that guy. I know everything there is to know about the potato business.
Right? Shoot, I can't wait for you to start your potato chips or potato whatever
Yeah,
business for real,
I
for
call them get
real.
them by the ounce.
There you
Yeah.
go. I love that. Hey, that's a good tagline.
Not bad, not bad.
Oh my gosh. Well, it looks like we have some folks on here. We have Capone. Thank you for
Capone.
joining.
Yeah, what's up?
MBQ Building Networking event. Hi, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. And let's see here. Let's see who else we have Master Yo, free Master
Master
Yo,
Yo in the house. Respect.
Anxious Money, get him boys.
Get 'em, boys. Thanks for coming, everybody. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I like to have fun on my show, you know.
Yeah, hey, so far so good.
Oh, thank you. I passed. Okay, that's good. Oh my God, I'm sweating. I think I'm glistening right now. I'm sweating bullets. You didn't know what you were coming into, right?
Not yet, but I got a good firm on it now. Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
okay. Oh, okay.
We're
Cool.
having
Cool.
a good time.
Well, that's cool. Well, I'm gonna have to throw some deep questions at you. So
For
I was
sure.
like, why not, just lighten up the load a little bit.
Okay.
um, so with that being said, let's go ahead and I'm gonna ask you first. In the very beginning of time when you were first born, where was what age, right?
Long,
Did
long ago.
far and beyond.
Yeah, many
Um,
moons, many moons.
what age were you when you were like, "Ooh, I got to do this music thing," you know?
Okay, so I was in elementary school and I was doing I think it was supposed to be a book report.
Mm.
And I was writing about this book, but then I don't know, somewhere in my mind I said, I don't want to write about a book. I want to create a book.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so I started writing. I called it Cradle to the Grave, or I called it Cradle in the Grave.
Mm.
And this was fifth grade. This was before the movie came out. Have I let you know? Cradle to the Grave, which was crazy because when I got done finishing the book, and it was just like I was young, it was just like maybe just like a few papers, but it was my
Mhm.
little book. I decided to take it, and I don't know what was going on between me and some other students,
Mhm.
but one of my friends, and it was a female, she said, we should do a song. And I said, ooh, I could take my book and make a song out of it.
Ooh.
So I did that. I took whatever I had all in my book and wrote a song out of it, and I called it Cradle in the Grave. It was the same title. And then I showed it to my mom, and my mom was like, "Oh, that's so cool." So fifth grade, I mean, fifth grade is where it was at. I mean, I wrote music, and I didn't really. It wasn't like a rhyme or a rap. It was
Mhm.
more like, I don't know. It was more like a. I think I was into like, what is it? Like Green Day or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Charlotte's Web. There we go. I was more into
Ah,
Charlotte's Web back then.
okay.
And so I wrote something like that, and I call it Cradle in the Grave. And then like a couple years, I think like year and a half later, that movie came out. My mom was like, "Oh my God." She freaked out. She's like, my son's song. That's my son's song." I was like, "It's a movie. You're
For
crazy."
real.
Yeah, she's like
That's good.
freaking out though, but it was a good title, obviously.
Yeah.
So I feel like though, I was like getting more into like writing because
Mhm.
obviously I mean I felt really good about it. So
Mhm.
I got more into writing and I was writing stories and I try to write books and that never really panned out for me. But when it came to music, it just seemed to flow well with me. You know what I mean? Like it was just something that kind of just I don't know. I feel like I could get my feelings out and
Mhm.
in a better way. So I did that, but I never really did anything with them.
Mhm.
Not until I don't know. Not until just like I think it was 2019. I was really trying to do something with them. But yeah, yeah. I started when I was in elementary. Man, that's crazy.
Oh wow. Look, you still have that little piece of paper, the little book that you
Oh
wrote
man, I
because
wish I did. I did. I kept it for a long, long time. And
ah
between the moves and the shifts in my life, you just kind of sometimes lose things here and there. But
yeah. I would go back to that publisher and say, "Look, y'all owe me royalty."
yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah, if I knew what I knew now back then, oh man, yeah, game on all day.
Wow.
I'd be bigger than Lil Wayne. You know what I mean? Like.
Right? You'll be big Wayne. You know what I'm
Big
saying?
Wayne, yeah, there you go.
Like, don't get big house. Don't get me started because I got jokes for days. Just ask my CEO.
Yeah, that's funny,
Ain't
man.
this
That's
funny?
funny.
Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. So you've said that you music saved your life, right? Now we're going deep. Uh
Yeah.
yeah. Can you like take us back a little bit, maybe to the moment when you first realized that, music is healing and it helped you?
Yeah. So there was a time, I don't know, my mom, she left my dad. She left my
Mm,
dad,
mm,
and it was a crazy, crazy, crazy time. And it was due to drugs. They were both. I mean, they were both on
mm,
drugs. So it was a really hard time for me. I had three other siblings, that I
mm,
had to look out for. And at that time, I felt like we were being abandoned. They were worried about their
wow.
own thing, and um, I don't know. After a while, I couldn't, like, my mom was never home. I didn't know how
Mm,
to deal with things, and I did. I stopped doing music for a while. I stopped focusing on all that because I
yeah.
had the little ones to look after, my siblings.
Mm,
And there was a time I got back into it, and it was just, I remembered how just like
mm,
it helped me. Like, it was just so therapeutic for me. It was really a helping tool for me to be able to navigate through all
mhm,
the struggles and all the hate and the angerness that I was
mm,
having at the time. So yeah, music was something that was my companion
mm,
at the time. So yeah.
mm. What I guess what song, right, that you first listened to that kind of like helped start that healing journey with music?
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. It was Eminem's LP, his first LP album
Oh.
that I listened to, and that whole album was like, it was messed up. You know what I mean? But it kind of
Mhm.
reminded me of myself because he talked a lot about his mom, and
Mm,
my mom was screwed up too. So I felt like I related with that a lot,
mm,
and I kind of started. I wanted to, it was inspired to me, so I wanted to do that kind of. I know it's kind of cliche, because I'm a light skin, you know what I mean? So Eminem, but I'm not saying that I'm a, Eminem style rapper. I'm just saying, like, it was just so inspirational to me
mhm.
how he put that together. It was
Wow.
just like, man. So I started kind of trying to write like and liking of that, style, how he did that, because I was just so wowed by how he put it all together.
Mhm. Yeah, he's a very unique. I remember when he first came out, I was like, "Oh, okay. Something
Yeah.
something different. Okay,
Right, yeah.
I dig it."
And then the way he was talking about himself, you know what I mean? It was like, it
Yeah.
was so, I don't know. And then the way he like integrated the songs, the way he
Yeah.
just put them together was just like, wow, I don't know. It just amazed me. He's a genius the way he does it. He seems it's like seamless. It's seamless the way
Yeah.
he does it. And it's just like, I can't ever, there's like no way I can ever spit like that, I thought back then.
Mm. Yeah, all I remember is he was talking about the relationship and then his daughter Haley, because he
Yeah.
was very animated. So
Yeah.
a lot of stuff is animated with him as well. I think that's why I think people retain. That's just my personal opinion. People retain stuff when it's animated and like catchy and like, look at me. This is
This
what
is
I'm trying
true.
to tell you.
This is true. Yeah. And the way he was like, I don't know, the way he was using his metaphors was so clear. Like, it almost wasn't like a metaphor, you know what I mean? But it still painted a huge picture. Like, it
Yeah.
was it was so clean, man. The way he just does it is so genius.
Mm. Okay, so Eminem. Anyone else that you like in your beginning early years that you gravitated to?
Yeah, so there were a few artists. There was another artist, Akon. Akon was
Oh, okay.
one. I really liked the way he, his sweet, sweet singing, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
towards gravitating towards love and wanting unity was really big for me because that
Yeah.
was something that I was missing. I think the album that I really did like from him was I think it was his last album that he put out. Um, the one with Mama Africa.
Mm,
I love that song, Mama Africa. That's
mm,
like one of my favorites. And Gangsta Bop. That was
mm.
man, that was dope. That was dope, man. Yeah, but there was Akon. T Pain was one of them because he was kind of dark. You know what I mean?
Mhm, yeah.
Um, yeah, that was just a couple of them. So
Okay. And like instrumental, did you play any like instruments or sang like in the choir or?
yeah, I was in choir when I was in middle school. I did
Uh-huh.
choir. I was a tenor. I was
Oh.
a tenor. Yeah, they put me as a tenor, and I played tuba from elementary into middle school, and
Mhm.
I was gonna go all the way from with tuba to my high school years, but
Uh-huh.
things didn't last too well that way. It was my plan. I would have loved to see that, as a young
Hmm.
child, but yeah.
Hmm. Interesting. Why tuba?
It was just loud. It was loud, and I just liked the way, like when I blew on it, and it felt like I like bass. I like
Ah.
bass. So you catch me with some 808s, I really love it. I really love it.
I was gonna say 808.
Yeah, I'll be the guy next to the speaker in the club, like, get it, son.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, inside the speaker, like, yes, this is a spot.
Right? You play your tuba and I can play my clarinet maybe one day.
Ooh, there we go. We got a show, baby. We
Yeah.
got a show.
So, do you still like read sheet music, or
Come again?
can you still read sheet music?
Oh, funny thing about that is I was never able to, like, I could see a note
Hmm.
and know what to press on the instrument. I
Uh
just
huh.
never knew the name of the note or
Ah.
what, you know what I mean, what it was called or why it was there.
Uh
I just
huh.
could look at the note and know what it was.
Okay.
Know what sound I needed to do with the note.
Okay. Like treble or okay. I see what
Yeah,
you're
see,
saying.
I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
That's what makes you unique and spectacular, you know?
I guess so. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I've never been able to read a note like that. I could probably still look at a note and know what sound it makes.
Hmm.
So
Okay. Speaking about notes, right? So you incorporated that in channeling your message through lyrics while through your healing journey. Um, how did you figure out, okay, I should, start writing, or did you just start freestyling or writing down your music? How did you?
yeah. So I started actually really when I really got into it, when I really just,
Mhm.
it I was out in Washington, SeaTac,
Okay.
and I was going around freestyling at and Seattle too. Seattle, I was doing it too at the bus stops, and
Oh.
we'd be a lot of people under I don't know, it'd be like an awning because it rains a lot, and there'd be a group like every other one, like somebody freestyling. And it's
Hmm.
not like every day, but every other day. I mean, you could find some group doing some beats and somebody freestyling. And so I would go and I would try it out. Either I'd get booed out or they say,
Hmm.
all right, until I got all right at it, I got all right at it. And I was like, cool, I think I can do this. I think I have to do this in front of more people. So that's kind of how that happened. It got me going. It got me like feeling good about myself.
Hmm.
So I felt, I felt like people were like, yeah, that's dope, bro. I was like, all right, cool. Right on, right on. Thank you. you know. So the more I did it, I just was like more intrigued and more inspired to want to do that more. Eventually, I did. I was like looking for beats
Hmm.
and trying to freestyle over beats and stuff. And yeah,
Hmm. So you listen to the beat and then you freestyle. Some people, or do you also write and then you freestyle, or
I usually
sing,
freestyle over my
or
stuff.
just
Like
okay?
usually, I would freestyle. Sometimes I don't know. like writers and rappers. I don't know, songwriters. Period, man. We all get blocks and we all need help. We all need tools. So I mean, I do got my tools. I usually, when I do get stuck, I go to rhymezone.com,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like one of my favorite tools to use because I mean, it's just so helpful, whenever I get stuck on something. But usually I don't write. I don't write
Mm-hmm.
anything anymore. So I just freestyle on the track, and I'll do is I'll find something that I really like and
Mm-hmm.
then go off of that topic and just start forming something and then
Mm-hmm.
creating a formula for my cadences down the
Mm-hmm.
way. So,
Hmm. Looks like a MBQ. She said, I think you should write a book to tell your story about mental awareness and your pain and struggle, what you've been through.
yeah, you
Yeah,
know what? My wife said the same thing. She's like, I think you should
yeah,
probably write a book about that.
for
That's not a
sure.
bad idea though. So
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about it. So yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a hard come up, but life's hard. Life's a struggle. Life's not fair. But you got to make it
Hmm.
how you can. You got to get in where you fit in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. So, was there like a specific song or artist that made you feel seen and understood?
Well, there was a song that I wrote.
Mm.
There was a song that I wrote, and it was called the the oh, I can't remember right now. I'm sorry. It was called the how do I not remember this? Um I am sorry. It is called The Labyrinth of My Mind.
Yes.
Labyrinth of My Mind, and that was one of the very first tracks that I wrote about my mental awareness.
Hmm.
My well, because I found out that I had ADHD and
Hmm.
bipolar disorder, which I don't I guess I lived my whole life not knowing,
Hmm.
you know what I mean, and, until recently. But it was crazy to me. I was like, what do you mean I have ADHD? Was like, okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
bipolar disorder, I mean, and then I look more into it and it's like something that I can't even cure. I can't even help it. You know what I mean? There's nothing I can
Mhm.
do to help that besides taking a pill or, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? I mean, it really angered me that it was something that I could not control.
Mm.
And this was the reason why I had so many, relationship issues. Well, not probably not just that. Actually, definitely not just that. But it was part of a reason.
Mhm.
And so I wrote the song "Labyrinth of My Mind," and hoping that it would reach others to help their healing
Yeah.
and their understanding of themselves as well.
Mm. Um, I think a lot of people, just in general, I'm putting my public health hat on. Uh, we don't, it's funny. I was asked this when I was in that field for so long. I say, why is it that we go and get a physical every year, right, to check our vitals, but we don't check our mental?
Exactly.
And that, it dawned on me. I'm like, well, our mental health is like superior because without this, we can't function the rest, right?
And we can't take
So,
care of this and this.
right, exactly. So it's just that's on my public health hat later on. I'll probably, I don't know, write something up or whatever since I'm
There you
out of
go.
the service now. But yeah, that always baffled me. And I think from my perspective, to my son, my middle son, he has ADHD and autism. And so I think as a mom, right, I saw some signs. I'm like, this is not, I don't think he should be doing this. So I was like, let me go ahead and do preventive medicine. And when I got him checked, and ever since then, I did like therapy for him.
Hmm.
and ABA and stuff like that from age 3. But I think when you catch it in the very beginning stages, it's worthwhile. A lot of people say, it's like taboo. Oh, he's fine or she's fine. You're doing an injustice, a disservice to your child. And this
Well,
is just
yeah,
coming from, public health. I mean, I
I
literally,
agree. I agree because if you when you like you said, you catch it at an early stage, it's more manageable as you get older.
right.
Now here in my experience, I didn't get any of that. I had no clue. My mom was like, "No, my kids are fine. My kids are fine," and then wasn't there, so who's to care about it anyway? And then all of a sudden, boom, here I am trying to figure it out at 30s, and it's just so sometimes it's so difficult, and especially when I don't have the help, my medication,
Yeah.
I don't even have the tools for long. I didn't have the tools long enough for me to even try to manage it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just so difficult anymore. And I didn't know, and that's the worst part about it is I didn't even know.
Mm.
And so when you catch it in those early stages, it just makes it so much like I kudos to you, I mean, good parenting for you,
Thank you.
straight up, because it later down the road, it is going to be so much easier for that child.
Yeah, it's always like it's going through this one hump, and then it's it's like a roller coaster. But once you get to a like these plateaus, then you're like, it's all about self regulation, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
The therapy modalities that was in place helped him to self regulate, and I think as he got older, he started recognizing, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like he's became a third party in his consciousness.
I hear that as a third person.
Yeah, so it's like,
I
oh, go ahead.
No, yeah, I totally understand that. I get that because that's how I managed to be stable with myself too when I was younger.
Mm,
I thought myself as a third person. I sometimes would talk to myself as a third
mhm.
person when I was younger, and I sometimes would catch that and be like, "Wow, that's crazy. If anybody else ever knew that."
I I think it's a good thing, all these like cliches and societal norms and such is not going to benefit you. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And you
yeah,
just have to think outside the box and actually do what works, because everybody, there's no cookie cutter thing, you
right,
know.
right, yeah,
Even just in general, right? Like we go through these relationships, and then you've maybe have PTSD from it, maybe, what I mean, all these toxicity, and you're having to relearn that, like, self-care and self-love and all these things. And
this is
when
true.
when somebody says something or does something that's similar to your past, you have to say to yourself, it's not that person, it's what triggered me from the
Right.
previous relationship.
Right, and that's what yes, you're right. It's so important to know who you are and be able to trust yourself, even if somebody else degraded you so much. You still are a lovable person. Anybody out there, still a lovable person no matter what. I mean, God gave you a
Yeah.
gift. God gave you a gift. Gave you this right here.
Hmm.
Free will, free will, and gave you this. A beautiful I mean, this is the most beautiful created thing in the world.
Hmm.
So treat it as so. Everybody is beautiful. Everybody is beautiful. And
Yeah.
it's we've got to remember that. I mean, I know for me it was hard because in my time, being left alone and not cared for, I just felt like nobody
Hmm.
loved me. Nobody loved me, nobody cared for me, nobody cared for us.
Hmm.
So why should I give a you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it took me a long time to realize that I have to try for myself because
Hmm.
if I couldn't, then I couldn't do it for, my siblings. So I have to try for myself and love myself. And I did that to the best of my ability, to the best of my knowledge
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
time, but it's important. You're right. It is important.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where You tell yourself, I didn't ask for all this. Why me? But then you have to say, why not you? Because you are the person that's going to enlighten everybody
Mm,
and be an example and a role model, right?
mm,
And oh, that just gave me chills. But a role model to society, to people, to the communities to do better.
that's right.
Because like when you've been taught just negative or all these things that aren't right,
Mm,
and if you just let people let that just keep doing the wrong things
hmm.
and you don't stop it, or you don't like spot check each other, like it has to be some check and balances.
Yeah, there has to be balance. There has to be a balance. I, I could say like I've been around that situation where I'm just constantly kicking myself in the ass. Like I always, no matter what happens to me, I'm always going to be the one to mess it up. I always do. Give me the chance,
Mm,
and it's my luck. I always call it
mm,
luck, my luck.
mhm,
So honestly, and it wasn't until recently where I changed that aspect of that, and I think a lot of it had to do with the bipolarness.
mm,
So yeah, sometimes it is hard to think of yourself as um somebody who could be successful or somebody who can do something right.
mhm,
And I get that. I do get that. But I don't know, I had to tell myself that I am, I can be somebody. And
mhm,
I think I did it through a lot of what do you call that? Um I want to say meta. No, that's not it. When you look at yourself in the mirror and you tell
mhm,
yourself, you tell yourself over and over and over again so that way you can believe it.
mhm,
Because
mhm.
that's what I did. I can't manifest it.
Manifest, yeah.
I did my manifestations. That's what it's called. Manifestations.
Yes.
And I think those are so, 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 so important,
Yes.
because it's just the same as somebody telling you your whole life you suck. You're not worth
Mhm.
anything, you believe it.
Yeah.
So if you go in the mirror and you tell yourself you're amazing, you're lovable, you're
Mhm.
smart, you
Mhm.
can do it, you can be successful every day. And then and I do this weirdest thing, right, where I breathe in and I scream at myself, I love you. And I do that like
Mm.
5 times. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Mm.
And I breathe in one more time. I love you. And it just feels so good. It really does. And
Yeah.
it seems like a crazy thing to do, but really, you're rewiring your brain. You're
Mm.
rewiring your brain to love yourself again,
Yeah.
and that's so important.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna make me cry. But like, like it's definitely, yeah, it's like, again, it's funny you said that because I was telling my son earlier, my oldest one, I said, I'm learning to clear out the clutter,
Yeah.
right? Because there's so much clutter and junk that's in our system. And when you continue, you always wonder, why am I attracting these negative things or these
Oh,
negative people? And it's because internally we have all these negative burdens and built up that we
yeah.
have to release.
Yeah, because you're worrying about that. That's what you're worried about. So you worry about that so much. I mean, what do you think you're going to attract? Exactly what you're
Right.
worried about.
Yeah. And you have to think positive and what you want to attract, right? So like and that's why you know what? It's so true because I think like affirmations and like visualizations, right? Because I do that meditation in the mornings where maybe 20 minutes and you're listening to binaural. I think it's binaural waves, which is like a 432 hertz or 532, whatever hertz.
Hmm.
And then just going in the zone and literally thinking what you want, which is the manifestation part. And it's like very interesting because you get so giddy, you feel it because you feel it, you believe it, you breathe it, and it's like it's gonna come. I don't know when, but I feel it in my bones.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like boom, it's coming. Like you start seeing little increments of bits and pieces of it. and it's just amazing.
Yeah, tell me if you don't, if you go and manifest every and do your affirmations every single morning and then every single night. That morning, tell me you're not going to feel good about yourself for the rest of the day, you know? I doubt it. I really doubt it because you are telling yourself that you are worth it.
Hmm.
Yeah, man, I am a true believer, a true 100% believer of the affirmation and the manifestation
Hmm.
tool. You know, I mean, it is a working tool, and I believe a gift from our Almighty God. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And also like the gratitude, because constantly in prayer, thanking for everything, thanking for the meal I ate tonight, for the breath, for just my mental clarity, right? So people, I think that we get so lost in the sauce, which is great, if you want wealth, like people have their wealth definition, everyone has a different definition,
Yeah,
but like wealth is, and your health of course is wealth, but like people get so lost in the sauce and they forget that, hey, I'm breathing, I'm here.
that's right. That's right. Be thankful. Stop for a minute and humble yourself. You know, stop for a minute and humble yourself. Look at the fruits that have happened, or at all. You know, if any at all, or whatever it is that is on the table that you have on your plate right now. Be thankful for that. That is absolutely right. Yeah.
Wow, it looks like a lot of people are joining. I'm just Mikey P. Hi, we outside. You just said thank you for
We
joining us.
outside. What's up, brother?
Oh man. Well, now that we've discussed ADHD and bipolar, right? Have
Yeah.
you had any? Well, how has music helped you manage your mental health? And then also, have you had any like therapeutic modalities in place, or sought various therapies?
Yeah, so I was I don't do this right now, and I'll tell you the reason for it,
Mm,
but about 5 years ago I did start seeing when I found out about at least the ADHD, because
mhm,
the bipolar syndrome didn't I didn't even know about that until just later.
mhm,
Actually, it's just like literally last year.
mhm.
I didn't find out till last year, but my ADHD I've known for about 5 years, you know. But I did. I took therapy from five different therapists
Okay.
that I would see out of the week. And I do want to give a big thank you to Marriage Helper. That's that's the program that I went through, and I'm totally 100% true believer in that program, and they helped me out so much, learning about myself, and giving me these tools. It is a Christian based program, but it didn't really seem like it to me,
Mhm,
so it was really friendly. I feel like,
mhm.
they weren't judgeful. It was it was it was the best thing I ever had in my life. So I did that for about 2 years, and
Okay.
then we decided to sell our home and be on the road, so I was not doing that anymore. So that's when we started traveling. We traveled, man, we went everywhere, man. I went all the way to South Dakota. Went from South
Wow.
Dakota to Minnesota. I mean, all the
Mm,
way back up to the East Coast, and then all the way back down to Nevada. And so we've been kind of all over the place for the last 3 years or something like that.
mm,
Yeah, so it's been a minute since I've seen any therapists. I've landed here in Cedar City, Utah.
mm.
So I am just now noticing that this is probably where we're going to be settled. So I am looking for, I'm going to start looking for some therapy, because I know it's probably going to be needed for the rest of my life. It does help. Obviously, it does
Mhm,
help. I can see the progress and the improvement when
mhm.
I do. I say this, like, when you stop going, um, it's not like riding a bike. Those tools, they get they get either broken or dull,
Mhm.
and you have to sharpen them. If you don't go to therapy
Yeah.
and sharpen those tools, or try to get help in any way to sharpen those tools, they
Yeah.
start getting hard to use.
Yeah.
So, just constant. And I mean, and I know it sounds probably ridiculous to some people, but for me, I believe probably going to be for the rest of my life. So,
Mhm.
and I'm okay with that. I've settled with that already. As far, what was the second question? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're doing great. I think you answered it. The therapy, like therapeutic modalities, you know, for the bipolar disorder, and like maybe there's so many things out here. There's so many tools. There's so many like free resources.
There really is.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like, just again, I'll go ahead and put my public health. um, I think that a lot of us are undiagnosed with various ailments. Period. Like,
Yeah. In this day and
we
age, yeah.
yeah, and uh, there, and I think back in the days, the whole taboo thing. It was okay. Let me try to fix it. Let me try to medicate, self care.
Yeah.
Whether it's
Everybody, everybody
like
thought they were a witch doctor. Yeah.
or something of that sort. But it's like, okay, well, that's not gonna help any, because it's just like a repetitive cycle, you
Right.
know.
Right.
But kudos to you. I think therapy is amazing.
Oh,
With
yeah.
everything like marital therapy. I mean, there's so many different therapies.
It is so great. Let me tell you. And then, you know what? Before I even started doing any of that, I was firmly like, screw that. I don't need somebody in my life, somebody else telling me what I need to be doing. You know what I mean? Like, but I was so wrong. I was so wrong. Like I did need somebody who knew better. I did need somebody who at least had an idea of what better could look like. You know what I mean? And I thought I did know better, but I didn't. So
Yeah.
I'm really thankful that I did have a change of heart for that. Yeah.
I'm glad too. I think we grow up, and especially men, grow up to be the strong person, right? To be this like protector. And I don't know. Yeah, I just think that like our egos also get in the way of, hey, just ask the person for directions.
Yeah.
How to,
Pridefulness. Yeah. Yeah. Pridefulness gets in the way sometimes. I get that. I get a big old eagle and chip on my shoulder. I'm like, nah, I don't need that help. Turns out I might have needed that help. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stubborn too now. I mean, even being a woman, I'm yeah, stubborn. So I can admit it. Like, you know. And then I have to say, well, maybe that person was right about what they were
Right.
saying. You
Yeah.
know, you just have to sit back, and like my kids, they'll check me. They're like, Mom, you okay?
Yeah. I'm like, I might accept it at first, but that's kind of rare. It's like I've been around the block a couple times, buddy. You
Uh,
come a day later, like, damn, he was right. Damn
right. They're like old
it.
souls. My kids are like, I'm like, I talk with my oldest son, I'm like, are you like my dad or something?
Yeah, yeah. I feel the same way about my oldest son too. He's man, kids. Oh man, yeah. They just grew up so quick. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah.
10 years ago, man. It passed so fast. You know what I mean? It just went by so fast. I feel like it was just the other day. I was just sitting there with my baby son
Aw.
on my stomach. And
Mhm.
it just saddens me. Like he's just like not even. He's so
I
independent. You know what I mean? It's just so crazy. Like wow.
I
But it's
know.
interesting at the same time, and then you watch them grow and gain their or just become and have this own personality, and you're like, wow, look at you go, kid. You're just like, it's amazing to
I
me. I don't
know.
know, it really
It
is.
is. It is. It is. Now I'm gonna be the shortest one in the house too. I already look up to my oldest. I said, just because you're taller than me doesn't mean that
Yeah, don't mean that I can't bend you over my knee anymore, boy.
right? That part.
You might got muscles now, but bro, watch out. I have muscles under here somewhere.
Right? You're grounded. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I pulled that card out. But so going back to that one major incident in your life, right? What was the hardest part in choosing to like sobriety and what keeping you grounded? I know that you said medita or manifestation and affirmations, but
Yeah, it
what
was
was the
support.
hardest part?
What do you mean? I don't think I understood that
Oh,
question.
um, about choosing sobriety. You know.
Oh, yeah. You know, I I just been, I was going through so much and then
Mm,
feeling so empty inside and not having anybody
yeah.
to say, or I mean, my own mom didn't, still wasn't talking to me.
Mm,
I lost contact with my brothers and sisters, so I was by myself. I
yeah.
was on my own since 15,
Mm,
so I don't know that long a time till 20, 5 a whole 5 years from a kid, you know what I mean?
yeah.
It seems like a long time. It seems like a really long time. I mean, in retrospect now, it's like, wow, that wasn't even very long. But when you're a kid, that's like a
Yeah.
that's like a decade for
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
and it just seems so like it was fun at first, and then like towards the end, I was just like so lonely.
Mm,
I was so lonely. The friends that I thought were friends were gone. The
mm,
people that I thought had my back weren't there no more. I mean, we were all druggies. I mean, I don't understand how I thought they were going to be friends. Like what? Nobody had my back. The
mm,
family that I did have was gone. So nobody was there for me. So it was hard for me to choose
mhm.
sobriety. I couldn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't until I I overdosed. I overdosed. I overdosed, and I don't know. I was coming out of these apartments. It was the drug spot. I went to go re-up and had a bag full of pills, man. And
Mm,
I don't know. I was walking out of that place like, fuck, what am I doing, man? This is
mhm.
what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, and
Yeah.
I was walking down the road. I remember looking at that bag of pills and being like,
Mm.
and I threw them all in my mouth and crunched them up and
Oh
swallowed
my
it all.
God.
I had a buddy. Well, he wasn't really my friend. It was just somebody who saw me every day. He saw me in the snow on the side of the road
Mhm.
and was like, I guess picked me up and put me in his bed. And thank
Yeah.
God. Thank God for that, because I mean, I would have been frozen in the snow, just dead already.
Jeez.
I sat in his bed for a week, I guess. He let me sit in for a week. He didn't know if he should have called the cops or what, but I was like, yeah, you probably should have, when I got up and done. But I woke up and I was like, what the heck? So I was like,
Oh
where? I
wow.
was like, where am I? And right then, I was like, God gave me a second chance.
Yeah.
God gave me a second chance. I gotta do this. I gotta live this. I think the guy, I think the guy was like, thanks for letting me sit
Yeah.
in your bed for a week. I don't even know this person, but thanks, man. That was really, I wish I could remember his name, but I couldn't. Everything was all blurry when I was waking up. It was all fuzzy, but, um, I met a couple months down the road, I met a girl, which was my wife now, but, we had a family and everything. And she was the best thing that ever happened to me,
Mm,
best thing that ever happened to me. And, I don't know. It was like, I don't know, having kids and everything, and then, watching, them grow up and kind
mhm,
of, I don't know, we adopted some kids, and they had traumas. And
mhm.
I was just like, you know what I mean? Like having that support from
Yeah.
family, like makes you really want to not anymore. I was done. I
Mm,
was done. I was almost sure I was done for good.
mm,
I did relapse though. I did relapse. I did relapse, and then it brought us to the brink of divorce, you know.
mm,
So that was all caused from watching my kids, my adopted kids. They had their own traumas, and I was watching their struggles, and it
mm.
just, I don't know what it did. It just triggered something. It triggered something in me, and I relapsed. And I almost lost everything. I almost lost my family. I did lose them. I did lose them. We were separated. And right then and there, I was just, man, I was sitting in my car. I don't even know where I was, man. I was sitting in my car. I had everything packed with me. I was living out of my car, I was like, I'm done.
Mhm.
I can't do this anymore.
Mhm.
I just couldn't. I couldn't watch my kids grow up the same way that I grew up. There was no way I was going to let that happen, to not to my kids.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that, and why am I sitting here doing the same thing? Why am I going to let that cycle continue? I can't, So I did. I was done. I decided I was just done. I was done, 100% done.
Mhm.
And I was sitting in the car and I had the YouTube on and I was like, so I just started doing some music again. Right then and there, I was like, I am done. Yeah, let's do some music. And the music helped. The music helped for a little bit. I cleaned all the paraphernalia out of my car, and then I don't know,
Mhm.
I got pulled over and I got hit with a big old charge for having an empty bag.
Oh.
And I was like, this is perfect because I need somebody to, you know, um, keep me accountable for being
Mm.
sober. So that was perfect time for me, I thought.
Oh.
So I was like, cool. I was cool with all of it. I was like, right on, let's do this. And that's, after a short while of doing, that,
Mhm.
that's when I got back with, I did end up getting back with my wife because of that marriage helper and everything. But yeah,
Wow. Wow. That's a very, very heavy um situation that you went through. Uh I think, you know, things happen for reasons, right? And to wake us up, I think, because it's like, again, it's like the matrix. Is it a blue pill or the red pill? Do you
right.
want to, stay, which what place do you want to stay in? And people go through that though on a daily, right?
It's
Just in
true.
general, just like life, right? Because all like the addictions, because she could be addicted to food, sugar,
Oh
addicted
God.
to, like,
Yeah.
you know, uh
Addictions come in many
porn.
forms.
I hate to say, I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
No, it's
Porn,
true.
like,
Dang, I
just,
know people that are addicted to farts. I mean, it's a whole world of addiction out there.
yeah, it's really interesting how and going back to, like, kids, the mental, right? When, let's just not not trying to talk about porn tonight, but yeah, it is
It's
what
not
it
one of those
is.
shows. It's not one of
Yes,
those shows. Come on,
yeah.
guys.
The disclaimer.
Yeah.
But what, from my understanding, right? Like, a counselor said, um, that it's like chase. It's like a heroin, right? It's like heroin because you're chasing the dragon.
You're chasing the
Apparently,
dopamine.
yeah, the dopamine, that the
Hmm.
hit, getting that same hit or something like that, from my understanding. So, hey, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what's the physical perspective of taking it, inhalation, digestion, or the brain. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like,
Whichever way it goes, if it's a addiction, that's a problem. That's something you got to see, for yourself. But
yeah.
there are all types of, I mean, there really is. It's crazy.
And then it goes back to the principalities of like your morality and what you think is moral, um your structure. But anywho, I, we're gonna segue through to the next question. um so how do you navigate triggers or like tough days, right, without slipping back into old patterns?
Yeah. I've lot to be thankful with my family. It's it is still hard sometimes when I see a crackhead or You know what I mean? Or see something on TV and I'm like, oh my God, you know? But I think back when I was separated, that was the that was the worst thing in my life that happened, you know? That
Mhm.
was literally the worst thing that I could possibly think of. Worse than my mom leaving me on my own to raise
Mm.
my family. Worse than, my dad disappearing on us, worse than being beaten, you know what I mean? Worse than overdosing, I thought. I
Mm.
don't ever want that again. And I think when I start having those cravings to want to go out and do something like that, I think of that time. I love my family so much. Family is everything.
Mm.
Family is everything, I mean, love is everything.
Yeah.
So if it's something that I'm more addicted to, it's the love for my family.
Mhm.
So I think about the loss of that and what I could be losing. And I think that's what helps the most. And not only that, I mean, the music is always my go-to outlet when I need to, just get some feelings out or whatever it is. I can free my mind in music always.
Mm. That is very true. It is very healing and it's universal, right?
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
everything. I mean, art, it's an art. And it's just and I think also having your family, like your children, I'm sure that maybe you you have them behind the speakers and doing some musical stuff. I
Yeah,
think
I
that would be
do.
good.
I have them in the studio, yeah, sometimes too, and I'll tell you what, they became to be some pretty talented kids, and it's really nice, to have them all involved. It gives them a good purpose or maybe even a good way to see what they could be,
Mhm.
potentially good at or just kind of give them away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a phenomenal job that you're doing for them, just an outlet and showing them that hey, if you want to do this, it's
Yeah. I mean, you want to free your mind and put a little bit of your soul into something. This
Mhm.
is it, this is it. Art, any kind of art form. I'm telling you, in our household, we are big on the arts. We
Mhm.
have the arts and crafts. I mean, we have a whole freaking room for that, I mean, we have if you want to play the piano, we have instruments to play the piano. If you want to, we got it all, And so if you want to artistically have a journey for yourself for them, that's what we provide for them so they can be able to express themselves, the way they want. Because I feel for me, I feel like it's the only way I can truly be myself. You know what I mean? I can truly be myself in the art form of me.
Mm, for sure. I think it sounds like Big Al's is about to teach music class.
Yeah.
Hey, it's why not, right?
Right. Yeah. No, and that's the whole goal, I think, for me. I
Yeah.
mean, the end of it, I feel like this whole buildup of what I'm doing, is something more than just myself, more than just my art. I feel like a, c- I feel like a whole community could I don't know, use these kind of ways, you know what I mean? Have
Yeah.
a outlet, have somewhere where they could. That's my ultimate goal. I just want to have a place where kids in that are not very fortunate,
Yeah.
have a way to have the outlet through music. So I do want to have some kind of community for that,
Yeah.
a
I
music
think
school or whatever it may be, a studio slash,
mhm,
but for the children, you know.
yeah. I think that would be wonderful, especially like, for kids with like special needs and
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
it, It's even adults because we all need
Honestly, honestly.
like I'm down for karaoke if you
You know, I mean, whatever it brings your mind to, like bring your talent, you know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. Like if we could even have a stage to where like if you want to do your comedy, practice comedy stand-ups too, you know? I mean, it
yeah.
would all of it, you know, bring your talent. That's the kind of community I want to try to build. So that way, you know, I really like to build it around kids, but you know, for adults that are kind of going through the same, you know, struggles as I did, learning things
Mhm.
at a late age. I mean, why not, you know?
Yeah.
Why not have a community that is there to help
Mhm.
go through those struggles and have a place to be able to discover yourself, right?
Yeah. So true. Looks like two equivalent. Thank you for joining. There's a
That's
bunch of
my
people.
that's my boy to equivalent. What's up, man?
Lamont, William, Sparty, Marty, the official Chino plush. There's a bunch of people that came that showed up. Isaac Diaz, thank you. 3758. West Ivy Home Inspection.
Thanks for showing up, my people. My people. That's
Yeah,
Ounce Nation right there.
I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. Um, so you mentioned the labyrinth of my mind, right?
Yeah.
And what I guess do you have like another thing coming up, maybe another book or
I have a like I said, I have an album coming out. I have an album dropping soon. Other than that, not that's anything like the Labyrinth of My Mind. The Labyrinth of My Mind was something special. That was really special. But I am coming out with a new album. Supposed to be dropping here soon. I'm not gonna say a date or nothing, but I will say it is. I don't know if I should say that. The album is called Last Laugh, and I
oh,
do have a feature on the whole album.
mhm.
It is me and I am Critchy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he agreed to do a whole project with me, a whole album project. It's my first LP.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I'm very excited for this project. It was really fun doing it. It's been a long time coming.
Uh-huh.
Saying that we're in totally two different states, so we've been trying to, you know, make it work. And we've been managing pretty good, you know. I've got the mix and master on it. In the Birdhouse. His name is Bird, a producer, and
Oh,
then yeah, I've got some tracks on there that are from Ryanie Beats too. Shout out to Ryanie Beats. And I just want to say, anybody who is looking to scale in their music,
mhm.
make sure to go see my boy Ryanie Beats at
Okay.
RyaniBeats.com. Go hit him up. Go look at his IG. That's the man to go to. But yeah, man, this project's been really nice, you know. So I'm not gonna really give a date right now. It is in the works. I'm almost done with it, but I will be giving out a drop date in the next couple weeks. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, let's share with the audience, I believe, let's see here. We'll go with your link tree. It's in his bio, everyone. So if you go to his link tree, you can see all his handles here.
Hmm.
Um, and I believe, is it this one right here that you're talking about? The guy?
I am Critchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I am Critchy. Yeah, this song right here is this song's dope. I love this song.
Woo-
Yeah, that's DMX featuring
yeah.
DMX and I am Critchy called Be Told.
Okay, let's try it out. I listened to it earlier, but let's see.
Okay.
I think it play it. Oh, okay, here we go. Can we play it? Oh, play. Nope.
Do I have to? I might have to go in there and update them.
Okay, no worries.
You
Let's.
can find it on Apple or Spotify.
Yeah, it's right here. Apple Music. Let me see. Oh, okay. Open Music. Can you hear it?
There you go.
Let's see. Oh, sorry. Let's see.
Oh, this one is. I can almost hear it, but I think I'm hearing. I think that's different. Yeah, this track is called "I'm Different" or "Difference."
Let's see.
So yeah, really do have everything. All I seek is all I need. It's all I preach. I promise. What's the difference between me and you? Yeah, this song was dope. So with this song right here, I did take the idea from Dr. Dre. What's the difference between me and you? And I put a spin on it, and I thought the beat was perfect because it was almost like somebody could say that this was a Dr. Dre song. Like you stole this entirely from Dr. Dre. It was almost so close. So I was like, this is perfect. I can do this. And it was a good strategy, man. I do like that song though. I was gonna put on there "What Up,
Uh-huh.
Dre," but I thought maybe that would have been too much.
Oh, okay. This is nice.
Yeah, I do see it. Looks like I got a few tracks on there with Big G too. I used to do a lot
Wow.
of tracks with him. He's a man from Tennessee. So yeah, we used to do a lot of music together,
Wow.
man. But yeah. I don't think we can hear it as much as you can hear it. Yeah, I don't think it's as loud as it is for you, for us.
Yeah.
Can you I can't hear it. Yeah, that's a dope jam right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I don't know
It's
if
so
anybody
clear.
I don't know if anybody else could hear it like you can hear it. I
Oh,
could barely hear it on my headphones.
really?
Yeah.
Let's see. Uh-oh. Let me see. I'm gonna go back out. Uh-oh. Here it is. Oh, no.
Yeah.
You say you can't hear it through.
Not as no, not as I can like
Ah,
faintly hear it, but not it's not very clear.
maybe. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to think. Maybe I didn't have it up, the volume up high enough.
Maybe.
Let's see. Let's see. Oops. Can you hear it?
Same.
You say a little bit?
It's the same, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe it's an Apple thing. They're like, you're not paying for it.
Yeah, no
But I
kidding, right?
am paying for it. But I mean, every month.
You have to pay for everything for Apple.
Yeah,
Damn,
every
man.
single like
No
drop.
matter what it is.
I'm
That's what I
like,
think like that's what I think like when I first got Apple, I was like, man, you freaking Android users are so lucky you can find free apps. I can't find none of that.
okay, like post at IG. Is it on the IG? I can pull up IG. Okay, let's see.
What is
Cool.
this?
Yeah. Oh, he's
Motivate, stay
WQ
constant.
says stay focused and motivated, stay consistent, stay communication. We have a lot of work to do with a team of artists. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Roger that. That's what I just
Absolutely.
say. Wow. Okay. I mean, I can pull up the Instagram if it's better. We can show something.
Well, here I got I don't know, maybe I can pull something up on my end. Maybe I can give a preview of what the heck I was talking about earlier.
While you're looking for that, I'm going to go with some other questions. So, let's see if we can multitask. Um, when did you realize, right, your music can be more than personal therapy and creating, the big ounce team? Um, like for your, as a tool for healing in the community.
um, I don't know. Like I started this whole online,
Uh-huh.
thing about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
I think maybe somewhere around that. Then I started having people, like comments and stuff.
Oh.
Like this is awesome, this is great, this is therapeutic. Oh, mental awareness,
Mhm.
this is, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow, I think people actually like my stuff,
Yeah.
like what I'm trying to say, like my stories, like the things that I'm putting down, or like my, the way I'm doing it, like my bars, whatever it
Right.
is. The
Yep.
crowd is liking it. So I'm like, okay, let's roll with it then. Let's see what more I can do with this.
Right. I think that's dope. I also saw, like, I believe it's your canvas, like on the wall, like the graffiti and the painting. I mean, I could pull it up while we're, you're looking for that right quick,
Oh yeah, sure.
so folks can see what I'm talking about. Like, what is she talking about over there? I don't know. I'm gonna show ya. Let's see here. You're so awesome, by the way, Big Al. So I just want to say that I'm just so glad that you're able to come on the show
I
today.
I appreciate it. No, I'm very humbled to be here. I really appreciate you allowing me to come onto your show to share a little bit about myself. And this has been, a really great experience for me. So
Well, thank you.
yeah.
So look at him right here, everyone.
Yeah.
Happy and put together like a sitcom dream. I've been through the
Through the
stormiest
stormiest
weather,
weather.
and that's
And that's
how.
how
Well, it's not
not
how
how I'm
I'm perceived. Y'all
perceived.
talking about me as if my name is my line. See, the system structure shows a
Shows a
complex
complex
design.
design. That ain't no problem for you,
But you got a
got a
conflict
problem
with
with
mine.
mine.
Step aside. You don't want the problem
Problem
that I
that I
provide.
provide.
That's provocative, not
Not
positive. You
positive. You
catching all
catching
my
all my
logic
logic
here.
here?
Rumors that I'm secretly feuding,
Let's bring it
but I'm
back.
happy and put together like a sitcom dream. I've been through the
Been through the
stormiest weather,
stormiest weather.
and that's
And
how.
that's how.
Well,
Well,
it's
it's
not
not
how
how
I'm
I'm
perceived.
perceived.
Y'all talking about me
About
as if
me
my
as if
name
my
is my
name is my
line. See,
line.
the
See
system
the system
structure
structure
shows a
shows a
complex design.
conflict
That
design.
ain't no
That ain't no
problem for
problem
you,
for you,
but you got
but
a
you got a
conflict with
conflict with
mine.
mine.
Step
Step
aside. You
aside.
don't
You
want
don't
the
want the
problem
problem
that I
that I
provide.
provide.
That's
That's
provocative, not
provocative, not
positive. You
positive. You
catching all
catching
my
all my
logic
logic
here.
here.
Rumors
You
that I'm
see
Walking
that?
with
secretly
that
feuding.
confidence.
There we go. See how I knew you'll be freestyling. Yay! But check that mural. Did you do all of that work?
No,
Like
so
behind you?
this right here, this location, I'm telling you. So
Yeah.
this is Boise, Idaho. I went to go visit there just recently. I'm
Uh-huh.
adopting another child, by the way.
Oh.
So yeah, so we went to go visit, and they have this place called the Freak Alley Gallery.
Mm.
And I'm telling you, like, this is the
That's
dopest
yes.
spot for like content, like you name it, you want to do videos there, you name it,
I
whatever it
do.
is,
For
right there.
real.
That is the spot right there. I mean, I've got a couple more videos too down the way that
Yeah.
show a little bit more of the Freak Alley, but
Let's
I'm
see.
telling you, like, that was like right here where it looks like I'm
Ooh.
running.
This one right here?
No, the one up where it looks
Oh.
like I'm running almost.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah, it
This
shows
one right
almost
here.
all of the Freak Gallery. You see all
Let's
that
see.
art.
Y'all
Let's
talking
see.
about me as if my name is my line. See, the system structure shows a
Ooh.
complex design.
Yeah.
That ain't no problem for you, but you got a conflict with mine. Step aside. You don't want the problem that I provide. That's provocative, not positive. You're catching all my logic here. I'm still walking with that confidence. I'm the type with no incompetence. You're talking shit, I'll stomp your shit,
Wow.
bomb shit. Oh, you didn't know? It
Yeah,
is that time
so
of year. The grimace of the gremlins. I'm just here to be vindictive. It's a privilege to be in my periphery while I'm still the man that
stop
y'all
right here.
talking about.
Oh, okay.
There's a like a mural that you see, it's like really shiny, but it was
Mhm.
like it was built from broken, like they put broken glass up there to make it look like a face.
What?
Yeah, dude, it was so crazy looking. And then they put one on the other side. And I guess like I didn't get the shot of it, but I guess when you look at, like if you're standing under one of the pieces and you're looking up at it, you can see the other glass and it kind of ricochets off each other, like the way they put it. I don't know,
Oh,
it's just what they say. It makes like a crazy like ricocheted mural or whatever. It's crazy, but yeah. It's this is the dopest spot to be, man. This
oh
is why I
wow.
love Boise. Boise's got,
Oh, that part right here.
yeah, that right there. They said
Like,
it ricochets. There's another one on the other wall, which I didn't see it on the video, but
oh, that's dope. Look at it. Is that
no,
that's
right on the
DC?
other side.
Or, I was thinking, is that Captain America?
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to, I'm a big DC and Marvel fan.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, I like Marvel too.
oh, by the way,
Yeah.
I like your pants. Like I notice a lot of different things. So
Yeah.
I like those the glitter thingy, or
Uh,
like you have like studs or something on it.
yes, miss. Yeah, those are, I only wear those like certain occasions. Those are really,
Nice.
really expensive.
I like this with the women like
Yeah.
some
Yeah, this got so much interesting like art for like, and it tells a whole story. Like it's crazy, man.
yeah.
It's crazy, that whole alleyway. And there's even more like
Further
going
down.
towards the back, and it goes like there's like a whole freaking alleyway. Other than just that spot, there's even more. Like it's such a cool area.
Look at this one right here. Let's see. I'm being nosy.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Look at that. Oh,
Right? All 3D like.
yeah, yeah. There's a lady. Then he put an arrow. There's a lady that was dancing or something.
Yeah, the old lady in the background, she's like getting down on the music. We talked to those gals afterwards. She's like, I really like your music. She's like, that's cool. What are you? She's like, what are you, like a rapper? And they were like so much older, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is too funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious. So like, okay, well maybe I could show you to my grandson. I was like, dope, yeah. You know? And if
That's
y'all just want to hit me up or text me on IG, that's cool too.
right.
I mess with everybody. Shoot.
Look at that. Oh, cool. Oh, wow. I know.
Yeah, man.
It's fascinating. Definitely. You know what? I'm surprised that you probably have some memes. People probably people probably made memes of you. Oops, I think I gave some ideas.
Right? Yeah, go ahead, go for it. Y'all be helping me out. Shoot.
And then you have the shout out to both of you and two equivalent for the
Mark One Mafia.
yeah, this is so dope.
Yeah, this is something that, man, I've been wanting to do for a really, really long time, and it's been hard to find, the
Mhm.
right kind of crowd for it. And I don't know how I got acquainted, but I started searching for stuff like on the East Coast.
Oh.
And then I started seeing some more East Coast rappers, and then you know how the algorithm pushes whatever you see, to your page. And then I started seeing a lot more stuff from Baltimore. And
Uh-huh.
then this character, man, this dope ass character, Two Equivalent, popped up on my page one day. I was like, oh
Yeah.
this rapper right here, man, he's got some bars.
Mm-hmm.
So I started, man, I followed him. I was like, man, this is dope music. And I watched him for a while, and I commented on one of his things, and then said, man, you got some dope music, bro. You don't hear stuff like the stuff that you hear from Two Equivalent anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like from back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
he's talking about stuff like he's got that style, but in a new age type of, like, this boy, he is so dope, man. And and I commented on one of his things anyway, and he commented back like, "Man, I like your music too." He said, "I'm instantly a fan." I'm like, "Dope, bro. Me too, my guy. Me too." And I just like, I really just enjoyed his music. But recently, yeah, man, we I don't know, like we collabed together with a joint, and
Uh-huh.
that was a dope ass joint that we
Yeah.
collabed on, and then came up this Merc One Mafia, man. He was on board. He was like, I'm totally on board. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, bro, because I love what you got going on, and he loved what I got going on. So we said, yeah, let's be a team, bro. Let's be a team, Merc One Mafia. Let's make it happen.
I love it.
So yeah, man. So it's on and cracking. I mean, we already got enough songs for an EP to come out right
Oh
now. You know what I
wow.
mean? Yeah, and we just started doing this like a week ago. So
Wow.
that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So it's
Dang.
yeah. So we finna be dropping some music here soon. After this album drops, I'm getting on this. This whole project right here, and
Uh-huh.
we're gonna form something with this, man. This has been a long time coming, and this could be something that is a lead to what I was talking
Mm.
about, an end goal to my what I wanted to do
Uh-huh.
for a community. But I'm thinking this is gonna be a help towards that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so too. I think you guys are both dope. Like it's almost like bringing, even though you're central, right?
I'm
So
West Coast.
or west. Okay, so you're okay. I just wanted to make sure I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
misspeaking. Bringing the West Coast and the East Coast together. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's what I'm saying. Like that's two different kind of styles in itself, but at the same
that's dope.
time, we're in the same we're rapping the same kind of genre, you know what I mean? Like he's a
Yeah.
boom bap, I'm a boom bap. We keep it old school. I keep it
Yep.
old school. He keeps it old school. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like we just kind of like peanut butter and jelly, yo. Like it
Yeah,
was
that's
meant to be. You know what I mean? Like I just no other way to explain it.
that's what I was saying. He was on here, but yeah, like definitely. I think that's so dope. Just seeing both of you. You guys have really beautiful spirits about you. Both of you. You
I,
know,
I appreciate that.
for real. Like seriously, I think that's why you guys mesh together. Like I'm being very, very nosy. There was Mr. Vega. Uh
Yes.
and it looks like you working out. Okay, okay. I
Yeah,
like that.
Ounce got to lose some pounds because it's been a long time coming. I was staying fit for a while, and I don't know. This last year, I just really let myself go. I just stopped working out, and I don't know. I became too busy or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Life gets ahead of you sometimes, and it does. But um, I
That's
realize
so
now I
true.
gotta stay on my in order to get on my mental game. You know what I mean? It's got to stay fit, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and for folks, make sure you tap in with his IG, and he has his link tree here. So if you guys want to, tap into his other feed, hopefully United Masters will be nice soon.
Yeah, no kidding.
So sorry to hear about that, but hey,
It happens. Things happen. It is what it is.
it is what it is. You guys can make waves, and you're gonna have United Masters ask you, "Hey, do you mind if I
Yeah, no kidding, right?
please? We sorry. We sorry." Watch.
Yeah, whose money you want now, buddy?
Exactly. Oh my goodness. So it seems like your music, right, brings together like an activism or like reclaiming the community as a whole in showing love, right, and learning how to collaborate more and take put in the ego aside. At least that's what I have a feel for you, you know, and also like two equivalent and uh
Yeah, it's like
it's their team, right?
I'm not better than nobody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Everybody's on the same level. Everybody's out here doing the same thing. I'm working just as hard as the next guy. You know what I mean? So why not? Why not collaborate with anybody? With anybody, even if their following is lower than me, even if they're whatever, they're not as known as I am.
right.
Whatever the case is, it doesn't matter because if you're out there grinding the same way I am, then you should get that same love too. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Everybody is just as important as the next guy. As
Mhm.
long as you're putting in the work, you know what I mean? And that's where it's at. You got to be
Mhm.
out there putting in the work. You got to be out there showing the community love. You got to be
Yeah.
there with the next guy. You know what I mean? No matter what it is. I mean, I feel like a lot of times, like rappers, I mean artists in general, they get a following, and I don't know, they get a big head on them, and they trash on these
Oh,
small guys. You know what I mean? And it's a shame to see. I mean, it is what it is, because the
yeah,
industry's hard. I mean, it is fuck.
yeah,
You either get shook on, or you get spit on, or you get shit on. It is
yeah.
one or the other. But um, I feel like if you're out there, you're putting in your work, then you deserve a chance to
Mhm.
get the same as the next guy.
It looks like MBQ said we gotta get you guys photo shoot and music video together. Yes, ma'am. Roger
Definitely,
that for sure.
definitely.
I would love to see that
Oh yeah.
for real. I could. I already
I'm
have it envisioned.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some plans I haven't talked through with yet, but I've got some plans to go out to Baltimore, go out that way to the DC area, and
Okay.
see what's up. You know what I mean? Try to hook up with two equivalent, and try to get some content going. But that's yet to be planned. I mean, I do look forward to doing something like that here soon. But yeah.
Yeah. So, what message do you want to send across to young folks or just people in general in
Yeah.
regards to your trauma and how to overcome it and what lessons learned, I guess,
Um, the lesson. I'm not sure.
or
I do know that I feel
advice?
like it's this. I feel like it's unity. Unity is important. Unity is so important, because you leave somebody alone, they feel worthless.
Mm,
They feel so worthless, and
yeah,
anywhere they go, they're gonna feel left out. So unity is
yeah,
always super important to me. No matter how weird the whatever, or what they
yeah.
look like, or what their personality is. I mean, everybody has a different way, and today age, it's really, I mean, they teach you, the media. I mean, I don't want to say all media, but most of the media teaches you things backwards. They teach you
Hmm.
lies. um if 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 you got if you're doing something that's not with the crowd, you are
Right.
weird, and you are not okay to hang out with. You are not okay to be loved. And I think it's totally wrong. I
Yeah.
think it's wrong. And I feel like unity is the only way, and the only key to having peace, and having real, you know, love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess that would be my message, like,
Mhm.
for everybody from me. And that's like in my name, like ounce. Ounce stands for one united nation,
Mhm.
collaborating with everybody. So I 100% believe in unity. Unity is
Yeah.
key to peace and love.
That is so true. As cliche maybe as it sounds, but I think that there's like a lot of variables that go into this, that plays into this, but I believe that if you, like you say, humble yourself, right, and humility, and remember where you came from,
Mm.
I think that's the problem. People forget where they came from and they don't go back to the community to uplift, to maybe help the youth, help the seniors, help, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it
go
just,
back and help your people.
yeah. And because you wouldn't have gotten that far in life
Mm.
if you didn't have the, village. You know what
That's
I mean?
exactly it. That's exactly it. I feel like, yeah, I feel like a lot of times that is lost in the mix, you know? I feel like a lot of times it is. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't want to leave nobody out, that don't deserve to be left out. And
Right.
granted, you do got to protect your energy, because there are people out there that aren't. I mean, they're out to get you. You know what I mean? Some people are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you have to protect your energy, but for the most part, for anybody who deserves to be in that circle, I don't want to leave nobody behind that deserves to be in that circle.
Yeah. There's so much talent out here, you know, and it's um and then of course there's the gooey stuff, right? So the gooey stuff meaning like maybe they had a chip on their shoulder through this whole music thing. And then people they just I don't know. I see it. I see like people actually have the passion for it and the desire for it, but then there's other people which is you know they want the gratification quick, and it's
Yeah,
not like that. It's a a long game.
it is. It really is. Because it takes a lot of learning and you can never learn enough, especially when it comes to this industry. I mean, this business type of industry is it's so I mean, for me, like hip hop, it's so the culture is so in the game in the industry, it's just so quick. Things change so quickly, you know, so you have to be on top of it. And it takes a long time to learn all of the things that go with the music. A lot of time the artists think that the music is going to be it.
Mm.
This is what's going to get me there, you know.
Right,
That's just a small piece. That's
right,
just a small piece of the business. It's
right,
not even the top part of the business.
right.
No, this it's basically just going to be your face. It's like McDonald's. It's like McDonald's, right? Every song, every business has like a what their song, their what they're advertising.
Uh huh.
You know, I'm loving it. Da
Yeah,
da
yeah,
da da da.
right,
That's their advertisement.
right.
You know
Exactly.
what's and so with their advertisement comes with a what do you call a service or
Yeah,
a you
product
know
service.
a product? Yeah, a product, and with the product comes a service.
Yeah,
You know, so I mean, there's a lot that goes into just that music because when you say you want to be an artist, a music artist,
right.
you are really signing up to be such and such and such and such.
Yes,
You know, so it's just a small part of the business because that's what it is. It's a business.
right. And it depends on your ethics too, because
That's
like
true.
you know you can sell a really crappy burger and like with great advertisement, like oh look at this juicy burger, and then you go there and you don't spend all your money, you can't get a refund.
Right,
Right?
right,
So it's like, well, I won't be going back to that place or people, but it's just it's the advertisement. It's behind what's really
right.
behind the
Yeah,
advertisement.
what kind of product are you selling? What kind of services are you providing? You know, are they great quality? Are they great quality? And
Yeah,
the great quality stands behind, you're right, your ethics.
yeah. And it's that Krabby Patty trying to get a secret sauce. Look, now you're gonna let me sing that song, Big Mac Filet of Fish, Corner Pound of Fish. Come on, Big House. Come on, help me out here. Help me out here.
You're on your own on that one, bro. I don't know.
Okay.
By the fade out, you didn't see anything.
Like McDonald's need to
Uh,
sponsor us for sure.
yeah, no kidding, right?
Oh my goodness gracious. So, with that being said, it sounds like you have a bunch of things coming out. Is there anything, or what's the next big thing for Big Ounce?
Hopefully I can, you know, I really just focus this year on growing my community right now.
Uh-huh.
I really would like to focus on maybe going out to a couple shows. I know those are really important to give, you know, the people experience.
Yeah.
But for now, I really like to just focus on, you know, gaining and growing my community and establishing where that is. So I got, you know, other than the project that I have right now, which is amazing, by the way, I do have one other major feature artist on that album, and
Mhm.
I'm going to say who it is right now, but
Okay.
I will reveal it though here in the next couple weeks, like I said.
Mhm.
Um, so other than that, I mean, I do, you know, like I said, some shows
Uh-huh.
that I want to set up, but other than that, this year, I just want to mainly focus on those things. But yeah,
And okay. And what do you hope like if somebody what do you need from people, or what would you like from people to help the community, the Big Ounce community? You know what I mean? Because you're the one that started this, but what do you like suggest for others to how to help? How can people help basically?
Help. I mean, just share the love, you know?
Okay.
Share the love. That's all I ask. Like, there's not much, that I want from people. I want to give the love to my people, and to pay it forward is the next best thing,
Mm,
So sharing that love is amazing for me,
yeah. Okay. Well, I definitely agree with you. And even if you have like a little bit of time to talk to people,
Mhm.
because I find myself, and I'm really, really grateful for everybody. I find myself talking with people or they DM me about things, and I feel, sometimes like how you're the big ounce of the the
Right,
community, the
right.
counselor, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I think that it's very important that, like you said, we unite and help each other because you never know what people are going through.
That's true. That's 100% true. Yeah.
You know, saving lives, especially. It's funny because I used to have a little motto saying like saving lives, right? That's what I do. Like just talking, just saying hello, passing by. It could be in a grocery store or whatever. You never know. That
It's
person
as
might.
it's as simple as that, as saying hi. That could have been you know, their way of saying not today. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Or giving them hope, or whatever the case is. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
believe that hope, that's what we all want, is hope for something.
Yeah.
And if for that person, yeah, you're probably giving some hope. It's as easy as saying hi.
So true.
That's so lovely. Yeah.
So, was there anyone you would like to shout out?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd like to give a shout out to for one, Anxious Money. That's my guy. Money. We go back, a couple years. We've done music before all this internet stuff and dropping music, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Capone, man, that same as him. We've been there a long time, you know what I mean? I'd like to give a shout out to Riney Beats. Like I said, if y'all want to scale on your music, go check him out at RyaneyBeats.com, or you can hit him up on IG. That is my man. That's my producer. He is the reason why I am learning the business the way I'm learning it. So if y'all are interested, go check him out. I also like to give a shout out to my other producer, Johnny Cruz. And y'all can hit him up at Johnny Crucifix. Give a shout out to Equivalent. That's my boy right there. You already know. Um, you know, if my family's watching, I like to say hi. I know, we don't speak on terms, but I love y'all. If y'all see this, I love you so much, and I miss y'all. Um, I think, shout out to you. Big shout out to you. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying? Yeah, it's been a
Thank
it's been
you.
a fun time on this show, man. It's been a great experience for sure.
I
And shout
appreciate
out one more person. Shout out to Monster Yo. Free Monster
Yes.
Yo until Monster Yo free, man. I gotta say, that's the one thing I didn't talk about, but that's been the biggest inspiration. Like when I started this whole thing and I saw what his story was and what he was going through and how he is doing,
Mhm. Mhm.
man, how does somebody that blew my mind? Like, if somebody like
Yeah.
that, you know what I mean? And then just like is so humble,
Yeah.
is so humble and so kind and so just big shout out to that man. Monster Yo, you are a big
Yeah.
inspiration, my guy, and I big love for you, man.
Wow. Free monster, you everybody. You took the words out of my mouth. You had to steal my thunder. No, I'm just kidding. I'm all loud. See, you see what you did to me, Big House? Oh my
sorry,
gosh. That
sorry.
is
My bad, my bad.
no, you're good. Is there anything else you would like to tell the audience tonight?
I just want to say, for all my people that are watching tonight, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thanks for showing up. to this podcast. I mean, it's been a great time. So shout out to my Ounce Nation family. It's all for you guys. Y'all are the ones that really save my life every day. So thank you so much for being here.
And shout out to LBQ Building Networking event. Yes, ma'am. Look, trust me. We're
So
greatly
much.
appreciative
So
for
much.
real.
So much.
Wow. So make sure that you check out, be sure to subscribe, right, to Big Ounce and NNO 360. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And don't forget to like, comment, share, because sharing is caring, except for germs. And to view all
Ooh.
the episodes on NNO 360, we're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Twitter or X now, TikTok. And I want to also give a shout out to Warriors Talk, Black Dynasty ENT, Tony's Talk Showcase, Driven Paper Next Level, Beats by Your Boy, Crushed Ice ENT, which I'm part of now, uh, WKYJ Radio Live, King's PR, King TV, We Outside, because you guys need to tap into his show too.
Yeah, we
It's oh
outside. Them
yeah, it
boys are
was
good.
very yeah. I'm learning so much in hip hop history, y'all, from through them.
Yeah, bro, they are about the culture for real.
Seriously, seriously. I really had a great time with them. And please, let's continue to support the Unity for Social Justice. Let's free Master Yo and all our brothers and sisters that are in need of our support. This has been a broadcast of showing love full circle between NNO 360 and Big Ounce.
Appreciate
Salute.
appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You have a blessed and wonderful evening.
You too. Good night.
Take care.